In the last quarter of 2021, the shares of Aterian saw an enormous increase in their stock price, a gigantic 345% as a result of a very brief short squeeze frenzy. However, the company has experienced a widened range of losses recently. But a lot of analysts think there is a strong possibility that Aterian stock will hit $50. But before we continue, kindly click on the like, subscribe, and bell icon whenever you feel like it, as this is the best way possible to support the channel. Thanks a lot, my friend. Aterian is a company based in New York City. It's an e-commerce company that differs from other e-commerce companies out there. The core of Aterian is grounded in the company's product platform, which is wrapped around Amy, the company's e-commerce operating system. The system works uniquely by searching for products on Amazon, which has a very high demand of providing alternatives to those products to fill the demand gap. Aterian achieves these incredible feats in two main ways, by using licensing deals or through acquisition. And quite a lot has been going on with the stock, starting from the last quarter of 2021 up to the time of producing this video. For example, in the third quarter of last year, the company experienced a $110.6 million net loss, an event that shot past the expectations of the stock market. The main reason for this was because of Aterian's decision to use the loss in settling its outstanding debt. The Aterian stock has also seen a 16% climb in its year-over-year sales, a reason why the company is not worried, particularly about the context surrounding its debt. The company is focusing more on its increased sales, which soared higher than expected average targets. The company made a giant leap in the last days of August when it launched the Aterian Shareholders Perks program. The launching of the program in combination with the hype on social media caused the stock to achieve a $17.98 price target, which was a 345.1% increase from its price. However, the Aterian stock has declined severely to about $6.12, losing about 60% of its value last quarter. There are many reasons this might be happening, but it's majorly because of several law firms and their investigations into Aterian's company over the potential violation of security laws, and also the fact that Aterian has failed to give substantial guidance for the year. This is believed to stem from the fact that prospects for the stock are difficult to predict because of the COVID impact, a gradual shift in the behavior of its consumers, and an accompanying crisis in the global supply chain. The Aterian stock is experiencing and is quite familiar with excellent top-of-the-line growth, as it is common with the stock. The stock net revenue in the second quarter of 2021 increased year-over-year by 14% to $68.19 million. Still, in that quarter, there also was an 18.6% year-over-year increase in the company's gross profit margin to $32.74 million. Accompanied by a net loss of 1,138.2% year-over-year increase to $36.31 million. All these are according to an analysis compiled by Motley Fool. As per its last quarter income statement, Aterian stock revenue was at $247.77 million, with a $7 as the stock's revenue per share, with its year-over-year revenue growth of over 52%. Events leading up to the meme stock frenzy were a contributing factor to the surge in the stock price of Aterian. There is also a possibility this might happen again. How soon? Let's find out. Despite the scrutiny from investors and analysts over the business practice of Aterian, the stock has benefited massively from a group of investors on Reddit who have shown quite an unwavering interest in this stock, so much it caused a 430.5% increase in the stock price from its 52-week all-time low at approximately $3. Although the stock has dropped, mainly due to the stock's weak fundamentals, Wall Street analysts believe it will soon rise again. In November 2021, the stock price of the Aterian stock made impressive gains, soaring as high as 14.5%, following the publication of the company's third quarter results. Although the stock beats the expectations of the market in terms of revenue, loss, and earnings per share, the gross margin of the company increased from 47.8% of the last year's year-on-year growth of 50.2%, a growth 2% lower than the current growth at the time of producing this video. This is quite encouraging, coupled with the headwinds the company is getting from the supply chains. Although the management of the company raised the prices of their commodities, it affected the number of sales. The company had little to no effect on gross margin as it held up to meet the event pretty well. In the beginning of 2021, Aterian stock gained the attention of investors and analysts as a meme stock play and a potential short squeeze, just like it is building up momentum for this year. Nonetheless, in 2021, the stock lost the favor of investors who were more interested in gathering other related catalysts after the company announced issuing new debts to pay off its debt. But since then, the company has been able to make plans toward accelerating stock growth in 2022 through a series of strategies. The most exceptional being the company's merger and acquisition strategy and the company's internal initiatives. All these put in place will catapult the stock to $50. It is no longer news that the Aterian Inc. stocks hold an impressive relative strength index trading strategy, and the fluctuating play is not a signal to sell, as this is a common occurrence among meme stocks. The situation makes it quite prudent to examine the behavior of the stock and check its relative strength index sensitivity. After falling by negative 2.12% in the second week of April 2022, from $5.65 to $5.33, the stock over the week has risen by more than 128.51%. The good thing about the stock is that, in the short term, the stock is in the high part of a very wild and weak rising trend. Usually, this means that if it provides a good opportunity in the short term, as beneficial activity should be expected at the lower part of the trend. The Aterian stock is expected to rise by a reasonable percentage in the next quarter. If the current short-term trend is anything to go by, that is a 90% probability of hold and buy signals that provide long and short-term moving averages for the stock. This goes a long way towards showing positive forecasts for the Aterian stock. Aside from that, there's also another buy signal that stems from the relation between the short-term average and the lower long-term average. But do not forget to never take this as investment advice, as you still need to do thorough research for each stock before investing in them. This video is for entertainment purposes only, and I am not a professional in that field. Please, also only invest money you are willing to lose, my friend. Now, let's get back to the video. We mentioned earlier how the Aterian stock was becoming a favorite of some investors on Reddit. This love for the stock only grew over the past few months as the stock solidified its position in the eyes of these Reddit investors. Another interesting phenomenon going on with the Aterian stock is the fact that retail traders and investors seek to make lots of profits off of short investors and sellers who have steadily and heavily betted against Aterian stock. These considerable plays in stock prices have been ongoing since the middle of 2021 and have persisted till now. Although the stock has been in the stock market for a while, it pulled the attention of investors and analysts in August of 2021 to the potential of the stock's potential of having a very high short interest. Of course, there was criticism, with a particular report from the Culper suggesting that Aterian stock was an overhyped artificial intelligence. The report also implied that the majority of the acquisitions Aterian made were garbage. Despite that, Aterian has been able to maintain a very strong organic growth, as the company's chief executive officer, Jan Serig, claimed. The defensive chief executive officer called the report a lie and claimed Culper's report was done in order to manipulate the price of the stock to benefit Culper. During those times, the stock price of the company plummeted by 80% between May and August of 2021. However, following an apparent short squeeze between August and September of the same year, it rose by almost 400%. Yaniv, the CEO of Aterian, added fuel to the fire after suggesting the company, Aterian, has been the target of short sellers and investors squeezing the stock illegally. He mentioned the stock and the company was fighting back. It is indeed true that the considerable short squeeze play of Aterian stock is bound to cause an increase in the stock price, and if possible, hit $50. Wall Street Memes recently pointed this out, stating that Aterian stock was potentially equipped for a short stock, probably before the end of April. The analysis from Wall Street Memes suggests the possibility of a short squeeze converging might have originated as a result of so many factors. Examples of some include the 33% increase in Aterian stock's short interest, a strong rise in the stock's popularity on social media, and finally a growing increase in the number of Reddit community of investors interested in the stock. Somehow, these were not the only factors. Other factors contribute to the potential for a possible short squeeze that might increase the price of the stock. The company's announcement of over 7 million remaining warrants at a $3.20 exercise price that cannot be exercised for 6 months is another factor contributing to the short squeeze and momentum play from retail investors. This action helps reduce the possibility of a short-term dilution ever happening, and has also helped reduce the number of available shares in the stock market. Another important factor to consider in the Aterian stock journey to $50 is the stock utilization rate, which at the time of producing this video stood at 100% and has been this way since the beginning of March 2022. You know what that means for short sellers and retail investors. They need to get resourceful, or they get burned. Yes, the price of Aterian stock since the beginning of this month is well over 90%, which is all thanks to the current short squeeze. But there are expectations for the stock to hit $50, a possibility that's tied to the stock's fear of missing out, driven popularity on Reddit and the social media hype. One thing with stocks is that the more buzz they get, the more buyers they have, which also leads to more buzz. And the more buzz a stock gets, the higher the price of its share. So what do you think of Aterian stock hitting $50? Do well to let us know in the comments section below. If you liked our video, then go ahead and click on the thumbs up, subscribe, and the bell icon to get notified of our new and upcoming videos. You can also check out our other videos. Goodbye!